Okay, so I'm hiking Tellico Lake Trail today. Minding my own business. I just had a battery change on the old GoPro, the back trail. I'm hiking, I'm not Sasquatching or squatching or whatever you want to call it. I'm not researching. I always have had this camera turned off, and I always, I still do the back trail just in case. And I was bent over. I was back up here, top of the ridge there, and I was bent over with my back facing this area. And I raised up and, got that funny feeling I was being watched, and I turned around real quick. And let me see if I can point out. Right through here, I saw something black from about the waist up, run right down through there. Just very, very fast, very quick. Lasted a couple seconds. Covered this distance in a couple, 3 seconds, and it was going down the hill. So it started, I could see from the waist up, and then very quickly as it was going off the hill there towards the lake, down towards that area, that way, of course it disappeared. I cut across here because it would give me a view. If I had enough time, there's no way I could, as fast as it was moving. But I went ahead and walked over here so I could look down. That is a hiking trail, and the other reason I came down here is I wanted to make sure I didn't see a hiker, and I did not see a hiker. There are no other hikers on the trail, and where this thing was is behind the trail. The trail goes down here and then cuts sharp left, and this was right behind the trail. It was black as coal, and yeah, that's about it. They're staying their distance. That's about 100 yards. That'd be about 100 yards. But it was coming up. I don't know how close it came. I guess those two trees right in there. It was right through there is where it ran. Like I said, it was going down the hill. When I turned around, it took off. And it was just, like I said, I got 2 or 3 seconds. Didn't have my camera going, had the back trail camera on, so I'll check it and see if, when I stood up, if there was anything on the back trail. That far away in these woods, 300-400 feet, if there's anything, it'll be a blob of something. But it's a gorgeous day. It's January 23rd. And I just had to get out of the house for a while, and go back up through here. This is a nice little trail to hike. It's also got some good bank fish, and I've been scouting that out. But yeah, but when I came back and the camera went dead, I got that funny feeling. And heard some noise and knocked. I actually heard a knock or something over in there, but really wasn't 100% sure. And still, that just may have been whatever. And like I said, I'll get back up here where I was. Get back on the trail here. Probably include this on another video of You're Not Crazy, because this happens, I'd say about once every dozen times something along this line happens. And I come here because it's not a lot of, I'm not going to say there's not Sasquatch in the area, but they hadn't found me here yet. And, well, I guess I should back that up. They found me here, but it took about 3 or 4 visits here before they finally showed up or started making themselves known. But this is a trail that I don't hike as much, and you know, thinking I could hopefully kind of be left alone, if you know what I mean. And I guess that goes into the category you're not crazy, because once you've been baptized into this craziness, it never stops. It never would stop. You know, I've got protection, but that thing, see, I had my stuff laid against this stump, and I stood up and did the, you know, came around and thought, what in the world? And right down through there, I saw him between the trees. Turn this. Let's see, here's a good, it's behind it, right over top of that stump. Right through there, right in there, and he was moving downhill to the left. So that is about 100 yards. That seems to be the bubble around me now that I've prayed for protection and for them not to, you know, for them to stay away. I mean, I'm coming in, you know, bottom line is, you're coming into their environment. They're here. This is where they live. You know, it's not like, this is not my property. I don't own it. And so I'm coming where they live. So, you know, I don't know all the rules, but you know, you would think there's probably they have some sort of squatter's rights, or, you know, they don't have to leave. They just have to avoid me. There you go. Did you hear that? Sounded like somebody. That's weird. I was flapping, so I don't know what that was. Oh well. Reset that. I'm going to keep hiking out through here. I'll show you the place where me and my wife got mumbled and grumbled at as part of No, You're Not Crazy. And like I said, no, you're not crazy when you know, I know it was one. You know, can I prove it? No. But it's not about proof. Right over that black, well, that stump right there. And straight back, he stood up and went that way. He was already up, let me say that. When I turned around, I could see from the waist up, right through there. Let me zoom in. Right in there. See that black spot on that tree? No, that's not a Sasquatch. But that's where it kind of started, actually started on this side of it, and ran like from here right through there by that black spot, and then started, you see there's a dead tree laying down, and that's when he started going down the hill, and I lost him. I'm sure he'll follow me for a while. That's fine. I'm going to go out here just a little bit farther before I turn around and go back. I've done a little bit of off trailing, and I'm not the only one here. Here's somebody. I want to break in here real quick. This is my back trail, and I had just changed the batteries on the GoPro, and I put the backpack on my back and was strapping stuff in. And I'm going to show you the raw video, but right in here is the area, and I'm just going to show you. You can't really see a lot on the raw. It's too far away. I'll come back after this raw video and kind of show you. There are a couple pictures where you can see a blob squatch, some sort of small black hairy thing, It has a gray looking face in front of it. And, you know, I can't make no claims, and I'm not making any claims. This video is all about, no, you're not crazy, and these things happen. You do see glimpses of these Sasquatch beings. They do sneak around behind you, and you'll turn around real quick and get a glimpse of them. And you know, this the nice thing about having a 4K GoPro, you know, watching behind me, is even though this thing's it was 109 feet, or 109 feet, I'm sorry, 109 steps, which is 318 feet. So that's a little over 100 yards behind me. So of course it's not going to pick it up that far away in any definition that's, you know, good or provable. And it's not to prove anything exists, but it is to prove that I did see something and I got it on camera, and it was black and it was there. Now, there are no bears in this area. There are no, you know, animals like that. This was not, you know, the trail's over here. There was no one on the trail. It wasn't some kid playing a joke on me. You know, when I stood up, I'm going to be honest with you, the hair on the back of my neck stood up, and I got that familiar feeling. It's just the way it is. When you have had Sasquatch experiences, you know when they're around, and I knew one was watching me, and it was from behind me, and so I whipped around real quick, and like I said, it wasn't a big one. It was probably human size one. That means it's probably a juvenile. It was probably 5 to 6 feet tall, a couple 100 pounds. It wasn't gigantic, but it was there. And it just did its thing, and that's what they do. But a lot of people, you know, it bothers them, and they don't understand why it keeps happening. You know, they didn't ask for it, but it keeps happening. So, you know, this video is, you know, not about proving they exist. It's about helping people and letting them know that, yes, this stuff happens to other people. It happens to me. And here's something more than just a gut feeling. Here's some video and some photographs of something, and you're not crazy, and it does happen, and it happens quite frequently. If you ever watch Steve Isdahl's videos, he's always jerking his head around, because, you know, once you know they exist, the old saying is, they know that you know. And for some reason, it seems to draw them in. It seems that they know that, you know, and, you know, the point I was making was, it seems like if you go to a location 3 or 4 times, it seems that's how many times it takes for the locals, and when I mean the locals, I mean the Sasquatch that live there, to come find you and then do something, whether it's whooping at you, whether it's wood knocks, whether it's these sort of glimpses out of the corner of your eye, or when you turn around, something scoots off from behind you. This is what they do. This is just the way it is, and it's about learning how to you know, accept it. You know, they live out there, and this stuff's going to happen, and it's okay. I went on and had an uneventful hike. You know, nothing happened. No UFO showed up. No orbs. Nothing crazy, and I enjoyed my day, even though this happened. You know, and that's the whole point, is you can still enjoy the outdoors. You can still do those things you love to do with, you know, without this ruining it or making it, you know, making you so nervous or so apprehensive you can't stand being outdoors. So that's what this is all about, to show you can overcome it. I have, and if I can, you can. So I'm going to continue on here with the back trail, so you can see my reaction. You know, I know something's there and I jerk around. So let's play that real quick so you can see kind of, you know, what was going on. you, when I blew up the back trail, which is 4K, high definition, remember the subject is literally over 100 yards behind me. But this is probably one of the best frames right here. You can, right there he is. And you can see the shoulders and the head and the little gray face. Zoom in here. It's going to pixelate, but right there. If you'll remember, the dark spot on that tree was actually over here. So there's our little friend. Now this is just, he was only there for a couple frames. It was happening real fast. Let's see here. Let's go to the next frame. Of course, here's the whole scene. And you can see here, right in here, he's there. Right there he is. See? Keep blowing it up and getting more pixelated. There he is. All the way across this. Let's go a little bigger and a little more. So there's the little Scudder looking at me. So let's go. Gotta go back down. There's several frames right in here. Now, what's interesting is some of the frames, he's not there. And blew those up. He's not moved in yet. So like this frame here, this is before he shows up. He's not there. He's not in there. He's over here somewhere, but he's not right there. So he kind of was moving from right to my left, and he. Let's see. Let me go through here real quick. It won't take a lot of your time. Just kind of step through. Now this is another, here's another early one. See, he's not here yet. This is when I first stand up. And right in there is where the black spot was. See, it's not there right now. It's just not there. So what, see it? There's nothing in there. There's no black spot. There's no black anything right there. And that's where he is or was. Probably he's over in here somewhere in all this mess, but at that point he's not over there yet. So let's keep going. So now there's a blow up when he's there. Or it's there, or something's there. I'm not going to make any claims about what it is. I can tell you it's not a bear. Let's see. There's another one. I think they're in that one. See, yeah, he's there. Right there he is. So right when I stood up, when he moved into this position here. Let's see, let's go. There's that, blowing that up. It's not as good. But you can still see there's something there. So let me go to, if I can find them. Here's a good comparison. So what I've done here is there are two where something's there, and then it's the same location a few frames earlier. So you can see there's nothing there. So something shows up there that's black. It's just, like I said, these are probably the best. That one's probably the best one right there. And in this size right here, it doesn't pixelate too bad. When I saw it, it's like he kind of came in there, squatted down behind there, and then took off. I did follow up. I did go back the next day because I wanted to do some fishing actually, and went back up there even though it was cloudy. But I went into this area and I found some interesting stuff. I mean, I found some broken foliage. I found limbs and stuff broken. Something had been in this area. The trail's over here. Trail's right there. This thing's off the trail about 30 feet or so. And of course, he's right behind me. But right there, that is whatever it was I saw. And here's a frame where he's not there. And see, he's there. And the next frame, he's not there. So that kind of gives you an idea. And there's something in there. What? And you can hear the dog scratching. Stop it, Ella. But right there is whatever it was. So I'm going to cut back in where I'm showing you I go over and look at some of the broken foliage. So you can see that. I think it's interesting that, there's a lot of interesting things that give you little clues that, I just wasn't seeing things. And those people who have the same experiences, you're just not seeing things. And it can give you the confidence to know that, hey, trust your sixth sense. And when these things, like when you turn around real quick and something ducks behind a tree, or you turn around, you feel like you're being watched, you turn around and something flashes really fast, you can have confidence that, hey, I'm not crazy, that these things, these beings are out here and they're watching me, and they just happen to sneak up behind me on this deal. And, your sixth sense kicked in, you felt them, you turn around and, they shot off left or right or whatever. And, you don't have to be apprehensive. They live out there. That's their home. That's where they live. The bears live out there. All kinds of different animals live out there, and so do they. And it's just coming to grips with that, and just coming to grips with you're going to encounter them from time to time, and it's okay. Be prepared. Go in pairs. Take a firearm if you can. Do those things that make you feel comfortable. But at the end of the day, it shouldn't run your love of the outdoors. It shouldn't run your ability to hunt, to fish, to hike, to camp, to do whatever it is you like to do outdoors. It's like anything else. It exists. You know that these Sasquatch beings are out there, and then you make a educated decision on what steps you'll take and what you're going to do for that day based on what activity you're going to do. Just like you would if someone said, hey, there's bears in this area. Hey, there's mountain lions in this area. Hey, there's, whatever, be surprised what could be dangerous. There's wild hogs in this area. So when you go into an area, you're educated, you know what is in that area, and you take the proper precautions. And that's what this is all about. It is being aware, knowing what's out there, and taking the proper precautions. And for everybody that could be different. That could be bear spray, that could be a firearm, that could be going in a group. But I think everybody deserves the truth and to know so they can be aware and make an informed decision about whatever their outdoor activity is going to be. So there's my rant, and I'm going to drop off here and show you that video real quick where I did the follow-up the day after. Right here is where it was. It's 104 yards. 300. There's broken foliage. Something was in there. Where I was. Here. Apparently this is where he was at. And there's broken foliage right in there. Of course I was right up there. And he come out of here and went down this way. So, of course this is across a hiking trail. You'll never find anything. It looked like something come out of there. Now that I'm looking at it, he may have been sitting right there. He may have circled back out and come right up to, come down through here. Because I've got that. It's just a theory. It's broken. Gone.